together, build together with Lego McLaren playsets.
Chat. It looks like you guys are ready to start this journey with me today. We will be starting shortly. Disclaimer, the following stream contains art and development of an original IP belonging to Bonny John. Any concepts and development made on the stream belong to Bonny John, creator in perpetuity. Anything shared through comment, critique, feedback, or suggestion that aids in the development of the property also belongs to the creator. In short, please refrain from sharing your own original ideas. This is not a collaboration. By participating in the stream, you agree to the above statement. Thank you for understanding. Hello, and welcome to today's stream. I'm Professor Bodhi, aka Mr. Bonny John. Mwah to you all. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate your presence and company as always. Today, I'm not gonna lie, I was not expecting to work on a brain in a vat. Some of you may know what that is, some of you may not. I will go over those concepts as I usually go over all the mythological or whatever kind of inspiration. But before I begin, I want to say hello to you guys. Thank you for waiting. We've got Massmon has made it. Hello, Alex. Joseph's here. Sketch is here. JC, our mod gym leader JC to be specific. Dingus Joe is here. And Draco's made it. So welcome in, you guys. Hope you had a wonderful day today. Let's start off by letting me know how your day went today. I have been working slowly but surely on my 5K special Q&A video in which I'll reveal a few fake mod that haven't had a chance to be in their own video. I figure I could sprinkle those in between questions that you guys asked me, so please look forward to it. Hello, Gabby as well has now made it. Welcome in. So let me quickly go through all your comments. Thank you for warming up chat while I was away for a second. Bonnie, the actual Bon John, mystery legend himself. It's true. Sketch, your asthma pump. I'm not ready. Came in early. Welcome in. Taking too long. Let's start a war. Riot. Claim deserve. Time to train your brain. Indeed. Mind Flayer, Elder Brain. Yes and no. I've got some concepts. So again, part of why I wanted to do this, as I'm looking at I've got a bunch of these designs that are slowly building out this deck, but do you see something interesting here? I do. In specific, it's this one lone fella, and there's something interesting to this design. It was one of the more crazier kind of designs I did, but when I look at it, there's a lot of potential. I still want to make something work. We're gonna work on about 5 designs today. One that belongs to a line of jellyfish and one more traditional slime, and still do some fun, cool things. Futurama-esque. So it's actually a very well-known brain in a vat, brain in a jar, philosophical kind of background, and I'll love to talk about it. Hope your feet felt better, Joseph. Goobrella, yes, it's some sort of silly little goober that's I've got a really fun concept for that I'm going to really push, because the brain in a vat is its own mythology in a way. We've seen it in thank you, Sketch. We've seen it in D&D, we've seen it in The Matrix, was one of the biggest stories. It's one of the biggest stories that uses that concept. And I'm looking at a bunch of these concepts, right? We have like worms and naked mole rats and bears, owls, wolves, Ocklet. Now we have more rocky entities. We have mushrooms and more greenery kind of entities. Tigers, monkeys, mermaids, even horses, and then a nice mix for the Chimera. That said, I think I'm going to push the Manticore to game 2. I made another kind of major leap of putting in certain creatures to really diversify this portfolio, which really, you know, we have to give Pokemon so much credit, right? For a game that comes out in 1996 to be like, yo, here is 150 designs, right? And there's a really awesome, diverse set of animals and concepts. And if I do about 150, we're gonna be able to see parallels. You can't really get away from that. It's not like Pokemon owns animals, right? So, you know, if Pokemon has their own version of Nessie, I have my own Loch Ness as well, right? So it's not quite Lapras. I have my own, instead of a dugong, my own manatee, right? That leads to a mermaid. And, you know, I'm still very proud of all these kind of things, even if there are parallels, right? You can't get away from that. Just have fun with it is the main important thing, right? So, to me, the notion of whether or not a series... Basically, I want to have a nice balance of diverse, not just animals, but like concepts, and that's where the brain in the jar, as far as mythology and things come in, right? So I was also very close to, and I made thumbnails, so look forward to, I think I'm going to do Garuda maybe tomorrow or the day after, because I got a comment saying that we haven't quite gotten any birds, and we have like owls, but it's mostly an owl bear, right? So a lot of these creatures, as of right now, I am hitting a nice diverse range of creatures, but I will be, you know, continually expanding the nature of the creatures. I try to find a connection, if possible, with the mythology to real world animals, or even, for say, something with the bunyip. There aren't any hippos in Australia, but I'm not making an Australia region, and my version of the bunyip isn't the exact one, right? It's its own kind of thing. So I can, you know, still incorporate a hippo kind of thing, right? So let me see what's going on here. I was going to say maybe combine the brain and vat with those tripod Warmax, but then I saw the jellyfish. The jellyfish just makes sense for this, and I'll show you guys. Kind of missed the giant hand jaw slime. It's an awesome concept, but a little too wacky. Maybe I can reuse it for something else. Hello, Rick. Welcome in, welcome in. Can't believe Pokemon will be 30 in 2 years. I know. I'm going to read you guys the brain and the vat thing. From what I understand, you don't do any concepts like Romeo and Juliet, but would do concepts like dinosaurs. Well, Romeo and Juliet's too random. That's a play. Dinosaurs are cool. I'm not saying Romeo and Juliet isn't cool, but that doesn't really have anything to do with the mythological lean that I'm pushing. Do dinosaurs have a mythological lean? No. But they've gone extinct. Like when I do a Region 2 or a Gen 2 or something, I want to do a ton of unique animals. Think like Avatar Last Airbender and a lot of dinosaurs. I want to flex as much diversity and my creative brain here, and really make a super varied, fun, colorful pool of creatures for this first batch, right? So I'm going to just leave the screen up so you guys can see, because I'm going to read to you the brain in the vat concept. All right. So as I said, it's also like a D&D thing. The Matrix famously, right? The machines were harvesting electricity made from humans, right? And so this, according to Wikipedia, is the brain in a vat or the brain in the jar. So in philosophy, BIV, brain in a vat, is a scenario used in a variety of thought experiments intended to draw out certain features of human conceptions of knowledge, reality, truth, mind, consciousness, and meaning. Originated by Gilbert Harman, Hilary Putnam turned the scenario into a modernized version of René Descartes' evil demon thought experiment. Following many science fiction stories, the scenario involved a mad scientist that might remove a person's brain from their body, suspended in a vat of life-sustaining liquid, and connect its neurons by wires to a supercomputer that would provide it with electrical impulses identical to those a brain normally receives. According to such stories, the computer would then be simulating reality, including appropriate responses to the brain's own output, and the disembodied brain would continue to have a perfectly normal conscious experience, such as those of a person with an embodied brain, without being related to objects or events in the real world. According to Bunton, the thought of being a brain in a vat, BIV, is either false or meaningless. Considering a cornerstone of semantic externalism, the argument produced significant literature. The Matrix franchise and other fictional works are considered inspired by Putnam's argument. So, the physical debate here, while the disembodied brain can be seen as a helpful thought experiment, there are several philosophical debates surrounding the plausibility of the thought experiment. If those debates conclude that the thought experiment is implausible, a possible consequence would be that we are no closer to knowledge, truth, consciousness, representation, etc. than we were prior to the experiment. So, do you guys get what all that is? There's a lot of, like, so we have, I'll give you another concept of brain in the jar, right? The idea is our body, right? In specific, our head, right? Over here, the skull, you know, this is our vat, this is our jar. For all we know, right? Like, realistically, many of my viewers here and many people in the world, we've not seen a brain in real life. Maybe you have in a textbook, maybe you've seen one in person that's suspended in liquid, that's preserving it. But do we really know, and obviously we have to trust science, I do we really know that the brain here, right, we're told there's a brain here, we know our skull is hard to protect, one of the most important organs we have, right, next to our lungs and heart, that this specific brain is controlling this specific body? It makes a ton of sense. But that's what the concept of a brain in a jar is. And I feel like doing that with a spinal cord, maybe things with the jellyfish in particular, without getting too gruesome, would make for a really cool occult style POTEMPO. And that's what I want to do today, right? So let's see over here. Might as well be wingless dragon. Shakespeare does reference different religions and mythology. Yeah, but Romeo and Juliet isn't. It was more like saying less human-made concept, more part of the natural world. It's whatever I feel inspired by, but there is an obvious lean into real-world mythology. Though Dante's Inferno and other epics like Odyssey could provide exactly right? Like Dante's Inferno and how they might describe angels or demons, maybe even depiction of hell, could help me interpret certain things, but, you know, I won't go too far into there. Would it be a human brain or a brain for POTEMPO? Would this be like a second stage? So I'll get into that. It won't be a true brain, right? That's too gruesome for a cute thing here. Sketch writes, Bonnie, you should do voiceover work. Thank you. I would love to do voiceover work. You can give it toxic elements and make it a brain in Coca-Cola. The brain thinks to do things. Computer simulation does that thing. Hello, KK. Welcome in. Very labby feeling. What if the brain ends up something like a white lab rat? That is really cool, but I want to stick to jellyfish. I do have a cool rat line, as I was saying before, that I want to, maybe that's something I could work on this week, because the plague rat would be homage to my very first ever fake mon that I created, which was a possum line, but I will make it more like maybe lab rat gets infected, plague rat, and then rat king. But yeah, anyway, that is the concept of a brain in a vat. I also want to take this time to also work on a slime family. And what was one of the earlier, if you guys remember, it was one of the earlier concepts I had done for POTEMPO, right? In fact, I'm going to bring up it's going to be in my scrapped designs, and we'll get started on today's art. So I want to do two lines, right? A simple line, one to get to part of me thinks I could make it 2 3-stage lines, but again, I need more 2-stage lines. So Frankenstein's monster with a vat for a head. Piggy in the brain, but the brain is a rat in a vat. You can voice over the trailer for your game. When you get there, of course, that would be sick, right? I get to introduce my own world. That would be so sick. Oh god, yeah, I don't like how she came out, so she's scrapped. This guy I do gotta bring into... You know what? Maybe I can work on this guy at some point. Right? We gotta put him next to... Because that's the sea boar, right? Which is its own mythological entity. It works perfectly as an order evolving from this side. And the mermaid can be more of the chaos side, because they were more troublemakers than people realize, right? So I brought that fella in there. Now, we're going to set up our design document. In specific, these were some of the concepts. I'll bring them over to our design page. And we'll get started, gang. Hope you had a wonderful day today. This is our designs from yesterday. I really love how they came out. They're so simple and so effective. I love that it doesn't have to be a third grass or natural giant. That'd be more of a boring kind of the evolution. I think I could pull it off and make a cool crystal one potentially. But in reality, again, I can save titans and rocky formations for like different regions, right? Like different areas. Maybe this creature evolves into different ways, right? Also adjusted the rock baby's formation a little bit. It's more of like this crystalline shape, more obelisk, and I think I want to do that for the bottom two guys as well. I want to really elongate them and give them a more feel like they're giant. Of course, they're not actual giants. That'd be ridiculous. But yeah, pretty much really cool, really fun designs. I will really lean into giving them more of a unique feel. Again, something to the likes of Shark Cadet and Armor Rouge, which someone brought up yesterday, or rather, Cerulege and Armor Rouge. Is that right? But yeah, Chaos One, Diggus Bars. Have you ever thought about making Minecraft mobs like Pokemon, or ever? No, because I've never played Minecraft. I've played it once, so I'm not really sure what exactly... I mean, I'm assuming mobs, they gang up on you and beat you up and take your stuff, right? Like the Chaos One. I know this is more a Pokemon style name, but I just came up with the pun Manasteed, and I had to share it. Manasteed, for the, what is it? For the manatee? Because it's a steed? I don't quite get it. Manasteed. But as I was saying, so I really like how this guy came out. Send him to the Shadow Realm. So I have a lot of these different designs and concepts here. We can quickly look at them now that I have more of an idea and sense. I'm gonna ask you, chat, what we should work on first. It could either be so I could do okay, basically open it up to the poll. Which design should we do first today? So we could do slime into what is that called? Oh, gelatinous cube. 2-stage line, simple. Or we could do jellyfish brain in a vat, which would be a 3-stage line. I'm down to do either or. So, here we go. Go ahead and vote for me, chat. And so in the meantime, I would love to make like a D20 slime work, but I don't know how it would work exactly, I'm not gonna lie. We'll keep these smaller and simpler. I do like that, but I'm gonna keep the D20 line simple, and it makes sense, right? Because the slime is going to be very, very simple. It's like meant to be a simple organism. It doesn't really have a lot of feelings or thoughts. It just kind of is its own little thing. So it kind of makes sense to me that it's a two-stage line. And then the jellyfish, which is also simple, it has so much mystery, it makes sense to me to make that a full line. So by today, I'll have sorted out the jelly kind of character archetype, which will be nice and just continue to diversify the pool. Oh, here's my new Marvel shirt, stole it from my brother. Well, to be fair, he threw it out, it's pretty fire. It's got Wolverine owns it, and it's got Iron Man's owns it, and it's got Captain America's owns it, and it's got the Hulk's owns it, and other characters. Alright, so we've got our 10 votes. Cool. Let's see what won. Brain in a Vat gets a massive spanking. Gelatinous Cube gets the spanking. 9-1 destruction. Alright, cool. I'm secretly Shakespeareans. Dingus is a poet. I like the skull slime. Essentially, yeah, like a manatee steed. I know that's not what it is, but the poem is good. Both the skull jellyfish and the skull cupcake. I want to see some brains, baby. Oh, 2 slimy lines. Yeah, 1 jellyfish and 1 fantasy style archetype. Because you can't go wrong in a fantasy world and game by putting a jelly. It's the classic archetype. So, alright, I've been thinking about this one. So, I did see the trailer. It was so fire, dude. I was so excited to see it. I think it's the movie that's going to get Marvel back on track because they're kind of falling behind a little bit. Yeah, what kind of dingus would have voted for the slime? It's okay, Dingus Poppy. We're going to do that as a cooldown for the end of the day. So, if we're doing Brain in a Vat, I want to really kind of tee it up in a way. So, I guess I'll put the reference art, and again, this was the first concept where it was a hand, right? It was like a single hand jelly with a quote-unquote brain for a face, and I love this concept. I might make this like a Fakeamon, right? Like for, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's in another game or something, because I want this first game to feel very cohesive, but I freaking love this. So it's like a face but a brain and the hands running around, and then when it evolves, it becomes a jellyfish, and then it becomes like this skull hand type of thing, and it's pretty damn cool. But again, it feels more like a Pokemon to me. I like the brain in the jar concept because it's going to be very, basically I want most of my designs, if not all of them, to be, especially like bigger concepts. Like, people will be like, wait, this is really interesting. What is this brain in a... Oh, okay, I know what it is. This one, when I look at it, it's cool, but still hard to really understand, right? So, yeah, it was really good. Could you tell me 3 words to me to use as a basis to create a drawing? I'll say... surrealist... colorful, and playground. That should be 3 really fun words to combine. Interpret it however you want to. Okay, so brain in a jar. I suspect I kind of want to have I kind of want the brain in the jar. Maybe I'll work backwards for this one. You know what? Actually, let me do... reference. Lock that layer. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna lock it. I'm going to do like this. Okay. These are the inspirations I'm trying to use. Alright, looks good. What track was playing? I I'm not sure. I've got let me see if I can look it up quickly. 39 minutes in. I don't. It's, you can type in 100 Thieves Hype Tracks Volume 2, and we're at like 39 minutes in. It doesn't say. Quail, Quill, and Grilled, Pineapple, Staff, and Rockfall. Nice, gang. Hello, Oni. Welcome in. Got it. Brain in a jar. There you go. Welcome in, Drazavonia. Okay, so let's go ahead and now that we've got the reference up, right? The general idea of a design like this is obviously there's a brain in a jar. Does it mean the jar will look as simple as this? Maybe, it's pretty iconic, but it's going to be a really cool and fun concept. So chat, give me some cool jellyfish and ones especially that Pokemon have not used. Common creature? Hell yeah, dude, congratulations. And so I really want to take this part right here and make that the kind of brain, right? And it'll look like a brain, but it's, and you know, again, I don't want it to be like too graphic, because you know, brain can be really gross to some people. So I can make it look cool and interesting like this. And I think the idea is I want it to, again, be a jellyfish, Portuguese man of war, or a siphonophore. We did talk about siphonophores last time, right? Siphonophore is exactly the kind of, I think, brain-like creature that I wanted to use. So what's really cool, and like the original intent is exactly what this what Mast has shared, right? The Siphonophore has this really cool, and you know, some of them look bioluminescent, others you know, we've got all these tentacles. I want it to kind of look like a spinal cord, as creepy as that sounds, but by making it a jellyfish, right? Like, it gets to be this really cool concept. And because we have like a jelly connection with jellyfish, the way I picture the and I kind of want to use, again, the umbrella concept as its jelly chamber, right? So it's like jelly on jelly. Something like that would be really cool to me. I mean, already that shape looks pretty cool. It's a little static, but I think having this stuff over here really adds to it. And there is like some sort of umbrella kind of thing too. Box jellyfish could work, exactly right. Let me look up box jellyfish. It sounds right, JC. Hell yeah, box jellyfish absolutely works. It could be like, oh my god, some of these creatures are so beautiful. It could be like one jellyfish, right? That's protecting another, right? Like a series of jellies potentially. Dude, this thing looks pretty sick, right? And so it's like maybe this jellyfish is protecting the brain, the actual like brain stem, but it's like another jellyfish. Dude, I don't know, this looks pretty dang sick, dude. Immortal jellyfish. So I'm gonna write these down so I don't lose it. Box immortal. Crystal jellyfish. Portuguese man of war. One of mine's a Man of War, nice. Could you write the screen on the first word of the three you told me so I can combine them to create a drawing? I think it was abstract. Abstract. Okay, so box, let me look up immortal. Now, is the immortal jellyfish a kind or just describing? Oh, wow. Hold on. Is it? The Turritopsis dornhi, also known as the immortal, is a small species of small biologically immortal jellyfish. Holy crap. That's so sick. And then crystal jellyfish. Oh yeah, sounds cute. Crystal jellyfish. Yeah, well, I mean, all of these are perfect, gang. Because now I can have like bits of the crystal jellyfish look like neural impulses, you know? So the sea pig and the unrelated hagfish. Yeah, you know what? I honestly like that kind of stuff too. Thank you for sharing those, because you guys have seen that a lot of my lines doesn't have to be, again, a baby jellyfish into a teenager jellyfish into a adult jellyfish, right? So I do like the idea. Thank you for that that pitch there for the. I like the sea pig maybe for the first one. Let's see here, hagfish. Let me look up the hagfish. I'm going to show you guys what the sea pig looks like, which is insane, by the way. Here's the sea pig. It's pretty cute. And I'm going to look up the hagfish real quick. It's a scotoplane. Hagfish. Ew, hagfish is nasty. It looks kind of sussy, so be gone. A jellyfish species that can revert to childhood when the going gets tough, aging and starting over. Wow. You ever seen a jellyfish polyp? I don't think I have. What is that exactly? It looks like it's a stage. So it's a stage of life for the jellyfish. Wow, what interesting creatures, gang. What the hell are we looking at, man? Birth of the jellyfish. So I wonder, chat, I think this is what I kind of want to do. I want to do, so here's like a polyp. It could be fun to reference these different kind of concepts in one, or one line of family, right? No, but I also didn't think the sea pig was going to be cute. It was mad cute. Here's a sea pig. It don't look like a pig. He's my friend. Although, yeah, hag did sell. I mean, but to be fair, it doesn't look like a hag. It looks like a hog, but I'm not even gonna go that way. One time, a car full of hagfish crashed in Oregon. The road was covered in. Really? So I like the idea. I kind of like the idea of a brain crawling, flying a little bit, and then becoming suspended in a vat of slime. That to me sounds right. I can see myself switching it up. Like this could be a floating baby form, and then because it gets heavy, it's on the ground. But again, either or works. Ground, flying, and then up. You know what? I'm going to make it flying. I'm going to make it like a flying polyp. And that way, because I'm going to have the other slime will be crawling on the ground. And so to me, it'll give the two slimes like kind of a subtle difference, right? Subtle and major difference. So I've been loving drawing the baby creatures because they're so fun, simple, easy, and they get to be vague, right? Like you're not really sure what you're gonna get. It's like getting a loot box, right? In many ways, you've got that boxy shape too. So about 3 words, I think you'd better change the first and 3 words to something. I can think of any ideas. No worries. Chat also gave you a bunch of ideas, so I would suggest to scroll back and let chat get you those words as well, so I can focus on this. The interesting thing is that the jellyfish reverts to its baby form and grows up again, making it virtually immortal if it weren't for the Yeah, that's crazy. Like, I wonder what nutritional value they have for the turtle, you know? Okay, so for this guy, I like the idea of, I think for this first one, let me put this guy out of the way. I want the kind of the POTEMPO to be kind of lodged into, normally, you know, like the POTEMPO, the first forms are, you know, kind of outside, and maybe I might have to still make them outside, but you know, we got to simplify the shape. I kind of like the idea that this one POTEMPO is got like this protective barrier kind of thing, you know? And the polyphore, it's a really simple shape, so I don't feel too stressed out trying to figure out what it should look like. Maybe I should give it a cute kind of simple face, and I'll give him this kind of, so here's a polyp, right? And then it'll become a sea hog, sea pig, and then it'll become like a slew of unique jellyfish, right? Damn turds. Sea pigs are a species of sea cucumber with legs. Interesting. Perfect. I mean, it has legs here too, so. Now, part of me is wondering, chat, maybe this is looking a little too, what's the word? Abstract. So let's give him a cute face. You know? I think we're gonna need to just give him an actual face. Again, I can't wait to like come up with design stuff, like why the totem heads have like different paints and stuff, and how it affects the paint styles. Again, I'm thinking maybe the domains might determine the color of the face paint. Maybe it determines the kind of shapes the face paint turn. He looks like his name is Glorp. 100% correct. So I think I'm gonna make this family more blue and purple, and the other line green. As much as I would love to make it a green jar, maybe I can still. I don't know. Green is just a classic color for the jar, but blue works because it'll look like water. It could be like multiple colors, to be honest. It eyes could be curly like the brain. Exactly, that's what I'm trying to do when I get around to it, for sure. Let's do, for this one, I think I will keep, what's funny is my original guy was orange, and lo and behold, this guy's orange too. So let me go ahead and slap on some orange here. And what I'll do, if anything, I'm going to color maybe the inside like a pink color seems right. Right? To sell the brain feel. Pretty cute color palette. And so what I'm going to do now is put that underneath. Oh, I see what I did wrong. Layer via cut. So this is a ref. And that's another ref. Layer via cut. Good. Ref. Lines. Good. We're gonna put this right over, and then Multiply, darken maybe. So it kind of looks like the brain, right? Sea angels, IRL Manaphy, right? I can honestly see the angel be part of the third. Maybe. I already have a lot going on here, but I will look into that for sure. Because it seems like it could, but let me see. Sea angel. Oh, it's very cute. What the hell is this thing? Sea slugs. Free swimming sea slugs. I could see... I feel like I could see... Nah, let's keep it simple. Researching and discover a new creature? The giant larvation? Sounds awesome. What is the giant larvation?
Before Shopify, were you wondering, where are my sales at? But now you're selling with Shopify. You're easily selling online, in person, and beyond. Discover how...
Again, another thing that I really want to do is make sure that in the lines with the third stage, the third stages are like these massive jumps. You know? I think that's going to happen for this one as well. Because the sea pig, you know... You know, is the sea pig gonna work? Might be too small. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add these like white kind of highlights. Alright, there's some fun shapes going on in this design for sure. Alright. Now, the rendering, if this were a 3D model, would be really awesome, right? Could you guys imagine what it would look like? All right, now I'm gonna do like an inner kind of lining like this, and I'll make it feel like gelatinous. And so designs like this, the texture really goes a long way in, you know, defining the creature, right? I think I also want to do maybe this part. Maybe it'll be something like that. You know? And then I'm going to have maybe the eyes inside kind of glow blue. Maybe something like that feels right. Perhaps you can use the octopus. That thing is like 9 brains, 3 hearts. The brains actually spread throughout its entire body. That's so cool. Take a Louis gump with the mouth and give it a tadpole tail that is 2 times longer than the blob coming directly out of the bottom. I like this for now. Cute, simple, including its... Yeah, the octopus is insane. Octopus I'm saving for my Cthulhu line. I'm struggling if I want to put the Kraken as part of the line, and I probably won't in hindsight, because the Kraken deserves to be its own entity, maybe in like another region, like Cthulhu be the big boss of the, you know, the squids here. Let the Kraken be like an octopus squid type of thing in another region, right? Love the totem stack. Thank you, yeah. It's pretty cute. Let me do, yeah, I'm gonna just bump that up a little bit. So that'll be the first form. And I'll just kind of swim around the air. It's, you know, outside like this, like wee. But Plopple sounds now. Does Plopple mean anything, or just sounds good? Because that could be a funny direction, you know, where I'm like, maybe some of them could be no nonsense name, and you're like, yeah, that looks like a Plopple, right? A possible temple line on the mythic creature not for this line, the Sea Bishop. The Sea Bishop? What is the Sea Bishop? Forbidden Jelly Snack. Please don't eat it, Danny. Welcome in, welcome in. Danny's putting out some new content and merch in specific. Make sure you guys buy. She might not have a roof over her head if you don't buy, because she spent all her money on Dragon Ball Z cereal. Let me look up this Sea Bishop. Bishop fish. What the? It's literally, you know what kind of reminds me of Zant. Wow, I really like this. I'm gonna mark Sea Bishop on the side. Yeah, hell yeah. And that's what I was really looking forward to doing, right? Like, I want people to be able to see POTEMPO at a distance and be like, that's a POTEMPO, right? Versus, oh, that's a Digimon, that's a Pokemon. Like, respectfully, you know, if it's Buddymon, Nexomon, Koromon, whatever it is, like, you'll be like, oh, that kind of looks like Pokemon, but not. But you're like, that's mostly Pokemon or Fakeamon, right? If you get Trunks, buy me Trunks. I'll pay you back. I just corrupted Polyp as Plopple. Oh yeah, that's cute. You didn't name all the tempo, just a random assortment. It sounds amazing. Honestly, that could be the vibe, because tempo is part of music, and getting a name based on sound can't really go wrong, right? What's up, Justin? Welcome in. And hello, Arthur. Welcome in. A Jellyland Splatable Medusa Jellyfish and Manowar. Nice. Oh, chat, let me show you this. I got it today. I mean, this alone cost me like $100. And then my buddy in Japan got me 2 more that I asked to get. And so I've started my collection. Soon, a friend of the channel, Bennett, who comes in, he's been helping me find a vinyl player, so I'm going to set up something really nice here. Got to get the receiver. I think I'm going to skip the preamp stuff. He's sending me some Poke speakers as well, which are really awesome. But here we got, ready? Japanese vinyl. Howl's Moving Castle. Bam. There you go. I don't read Japanese, but fire. And second one, Spirited Away. There you go. Spirited Away. So happy. I bought 4 frames, 4 vinyl covers. So I'm gonna put the 4, basically the most impactful films. It started with, I would say, Princess Mononoke and I'll say this in my Q&A video, but Princess Mononoke and Spirited Away is what made me realize I could become an artist, meaning like a working artist. But then I hadn't realized that I'd been watching Studio Ghibli for a long time. In specific, I kept rewatching as a kid Kiki's Delivery Service. So Kiki's Delivery Service was kind of the first, and then yeah, Spirited Away, Mononoke Hime I kept watching. And then I fell in love with Howl's Moving Castle as well. So I'll be getting those other 2 vinyls and I will hang them up over there. Little side tour, but you know, I was so excited. Turns around to show his cake. Hey, yo! Nexamon, at least in the first game, you can get your starter by stealing it from a grunt who had a case full of starters. Oh, very cool. So, when are we getting the POTEMPO Poke Rap? The Potemp Rap. You guys have to come up with the Potemp Rap. An onomatopoeia-based naming convention would be dope. That's sick. Thank you, gang. Cam Steady POTEMPO Rap would be sick. We gotta get names first. I gotta still figure out how to do names, chat. Okay, so now we have our baby jellyfish. It's gonna evolve into a brain in the jar for the final form. But now we're gonna have to make, I think I'll make it so that out of the totem head, the more bulbous, tangible part of the jellyfish is there, and it's in the body of this sea slug thingy. Thoughts on Whisper of the Heart and Porco Rosso? So I think Porco Rosso, or Rosso, however you guys say it. I usually say Porco Rosso, but when I see it written, I'm like, it's Rosso, isn't it? It's such an underrated movie. Admittedly, I've only watched it once, but really enjoyed it. It's got this really awesome music in it. The Bell, is that what it's called? Thank you, Mass. And don't crucify me, but I've not seen Whispers of the Heart yet. I've heard awesome things about it, but I will get around to it, I promise. I've still a lot of film to catch up with, let alone modern stuff. Like, there's tons of old stuff that I have to watch, right? Let's get the Bell involved here. I'm going to split the Bell like this, and I could see a cool thing here, chat, with the design, where maybe I turn the eye of the jellyfish, right? And I say eye, right? Because I feel like he may need one, just so people have a chance to connect with it, right? Even if it doesn't look like an eye per se. So let's just keep it simple like this. And it's the Bell. And then the idea of a brain, right? Is if you're a smooth brain, that means you're Dingus, not a Dingus Joe. Dingus Joe is a beautiful soul. But it means, you know, you gotta study more. The more wrinkly your brain is, the more smarter you are. And so maybe I'll add more wrinkles in the brain in the jar form, where it's like fully formed brain, and it's like staying in stasis and using psychic attacks. So I think to separate this guy, say, from the order POTEMPO, who's the mushroom, who also has a bioluminescent feel. It's really cool that there's something similar. I think that line will be occult. Maybe this one can be more runic. We'll see. No eyes, no soul. Exactly right. I fell in love with Porco Rosso's setting. It's so nice. That's okay, as long as you eventually see it. Hello, Hikari. Welcome in. When you think about it, exactly right. Exactly right, Hikari. Welcome in. We're all brain in VATs. Very underrated. Yeah, the music was great too. You can see, you know, Miyazaki's love for planes there, clear as day. My research, most popular monster taming games go with the fusion of two or more origin words for name. Tardigrade, cause stasis dormant stay. This line of POTEMPO looks so chewy. Danny, keep your teeth away from these babies. No one chomp these gummy bears, okay? Or gummy brains, I should say. They've got to have gummy brains out there, right, chat? They got to. That's kind of a missed opportunity. Well, we don't want to turn kids into serial killers. Maybe that's why they don't have them. Okay, so I think this will be another cute one where, look, watch this. Simple. So now the brain is kind of on the move. It's gotten heavier. And so this is so cute. So it starts as a polyp, right? And he's flying in the air, right? So he's flying like in SpongeBob, right? All the jellyfish kind of like waving around. And then, you know what? I'll just straight up... Oh, wait. I was gonna put those things in the front. I'm just gonna put these as antennae in the front. Screw it. He's gonna have a little tail too. Imagine the teeth feel. Yeah, nasty. You can sell a gummy version of this as merch. Absolutely right. His widow feet. We draw on brains. Absolutely. Welcome in, Kay. He's on the move. Except he's like mad slow, chat. He's mad slow. Ugh. Oh, we should stretch. It's exactly an hour in. $23 for gummy brains. It's gonna be $24.99. No, you know what? If I ever did anything, I'd want to like do a nice price where it includes the tax, but I guess it's different for each state and shit, which is annoying, right? Jelly Bunny. Yeah, isn't Jelly Bunny a thing too? Okay. Now, chat, part of me is thinking, actually, it shouldn't be a small... It might have to be... I think to really sell that it's going to be a brain in a jar, I'm going to put it like this. I feel like that is a little stronger visually. This is a really fun line. This is a fun line. So I think I'm going to do the same thing where I will likely... You know what? At the same time, I'm doing all this pink coloration. Okay, yeah, so now the blue will really take over, I think. Now that Bunny is on the move. Chat, what do you think? Is the blue... I like the blue, don't get me wrong. But do we feel like pink for the jellyfish is... Ooh, wait a second. Maybe it's like this, just to look like... What do you call this? Like the brainstem? And that way that visual through line continues. Yeah, I like that. It looks like the nervous system. I'm a POTEMPO designer. I know what I'm doing, chat. You gotta trust me. Sometimes you come up with something cool. Bunny Sea Slug, something like that, yeah. I think about Jelly Bunny, but Chubby Bunny is a game. That is true. Chubby Bunny. A stress ball merch could work well. I'd like that maybe for sure. Like, I know, chat, I keep pushing the Dust Bunny, but I love that design so much. I want that to be like merch, you know? Like a plushie of the Dust Bunny would be amazing. You know? It's doing the fur at me. Looks like Sea Bunny, the little tail, the ears. Yeah, that's true. I can still have a connection to the Sea Pig too, you know? But why not? Sea Pig, Sea Bunny. Looks better, gives it more space, room for animation. Hell yeah, Danny, the animated thinking. The colors really make it look psychedelic, which makes sense for the brain to draw. Absolutely. Giving lava lamp. I like that. We love the Dust Bunny too. Good. Second boy kind of reminds me of the barrel eye fish. I think it could serve as a good reference. Let me take a look at the barrel eye fish. Barrel eye. Oh, I've seen this guy. Wait, no. Is this real? Every picture I've seen of it looks the same. And it makes me feel like it's one of those meme kind of pictures. Not meme, but... So this is the barrel eye fish, chat, which is like insane. Ready? It's this little freak right here. Like, you know the thoughts, like head empty, thoughts only or whatever? That's what this image is. So every time you see this picture, it looks like that. And that is cool that it solidifies. But since I don't really have that for the slime, I'm going to design these two guys together. But this is a really fun concept. I think, you know what, I don't mind if I do chunk in some green here. Because I could kind of make an allusion to the fact that, like, the regular slime that we're going to design after this, maybe it evolved, maybe a version of it would eventually come to evolve way down the line, right? Maybe in my universe, the slime is one of the most, you know, what do you call it? Primordial kind of creatures, maybe? You know? Maybe this part is green, or maybe I can get the orange back. This could be, you know what? This could honestly be just so many colors. I think that would be the play, because it's really psychedelic, right? And then it could be this part is like the bioluminescent blue. Yeah, this is cool. So this jelly allows the jellyfish to suspend itself in the air. So you guys see my vision for this line? Polyp, sea pig, jellyfish. And there is a nice story movement happening, right? This one jellyfish, no thoughts, just flying around. His brain is light. And then he gets a little more tangible, starts crawling to move around. And like I said, I could see this go either way. What do you think, chat? Do you think I should do the sea pig first and then it starts floating? Because the idea is that the brain gets heavy. But I also like the idea of it starting on the ground, floating, and then suspending itself. Either way, you know, goes fine for me, right? That expression is so relatable, it's insane, says Rec. The green blobs are the eyes. Oh, for that freak before? It looks so sad, it does. It's real, it's just crazy looking. Don't question it, its head's see-through with its eyes on the inside. Looks like it's bills to pay and mouths to feed. Poor baby. I want to crop that pig to be the face and make it a reaction image. It's going to be my new profile picture. It could be a Discord meme, that's true. Last guy's giving Mind Flayer vibes. Hell yeah. And you know, it could pseudo have that kind of vibe for sure without really pushing it. Looks like a margarita with an umbrella. Got a blast. Take care, Danny. Thank you as always for joining. Smash that like button, she says. Appreciate you. Mwah to you. Join the Discord to be lame. Your choice to be lame or not. Skittles color might be going too crazy. Yeah, I'll have to figure it out. You have the piggy eyes. What are the piggy eyes? Oh, for the... Let's see. I'm gonna... Now that I've got everything together, I'm gonna start jumping in and fine-tuning some details, right? Let's go ahead and do one by one. We're gonna just clean up each of these. Okay, I think for this one, another thing that I could do is, in reality, I should probably do a thing where the outline is not like a dark color, but something like this. And this would really give it a jelly feel, right? So I'll quickly do that. Another thing that I've been kind of thinking about, not, you know, a lot, but I've been thinking about how I'm gonna render this. And, you know, when I do my designs for my channel, be it Fakemon, you know, that's just my quote-unquote style, right? How I draw with the shadows and this and that. But I don't give it full renderings because, you know, I've got to like get content out weekly at the time and whatever it is. But I do want to properly try to render these creatures out, you know, and that includes giving proper shading and more stronger treatment as far as even texture, right? I like the idea, actually. Let's make this a bubble. I think it needs to be a bubble because it should look like it's protecting the innard, and so that'll just, and it's just gonna be a cuter shape as well. Yeah, what a difference that makes. Oh yeah, chat, also, I added a new 3-stage line, and it's a really cool one. I might do that tomorrow. I don't know, I'm gonna see what I feel, because there's a lot of cool, like, you know, I've been really sitting down and I keep tweaking and adjusting what I'm going to put in, and, you know, that's good. That, you know, like, I can't act like anything's ever finished until the actual thing is done, whatever that means, right? Oh hell yeah, this is awesome. I think I want to do a thing where hell yeah, that's cute. Okay, so that's the first one. Bioluminescence stuff might be cool with this too. I do like that, and I potentially see myself doing that, but the thing is, like I said, it's already feeling kind of close to the order fairy circle mushroom, which uses bioluminescence, so I might go away from that, but I think it could be cool. Again, maybe there's a correlation. Mushrooms are weird and their own thing in the same way that jellyfish are, so having a connection doesn't seem too bad to me, right? The alcohol connection makes a lot of sense. Alcohol does some trippy things. This guy shaped like an alcoholic glass. Which guy? This guy? I love translucent. The only thing you can't do plushies. It's true. I mean, you could, but it's not gonna look good, right? Okay, so next up is this guy. So, you know, after yesterday, this feels very, what's the word? This just feels very, not cathartic, that's not the right word. What's the word, chat? Because I was struggling yesterday, like trying to figure out, oh, is the Yeti the Minotaur's cousin? Do I do a split with the, oh, you know what? Maybe this is even a nod to Dust Bunny. But yeah, so yesterday I didn't even finish with a Yeti design. I don't know if I'm gonna put the Yeti in, but the fact that like I was able to get close to, you know, what I've envisioned. I mean, we're not done yet. We might still run into issues. But yeah, it definitely feels nice to execute what you were visualizing. You know? Now, the only thing is, again, the pink brain it's got to still look like a jellyfish within this space, you know? And maybe what I'll do is I'll do something like this. So again, it looks like a jellyfish, and it's using its maybe I do this. This is such an insane concept.
Race together, build together with Lego McLaren playsets.
The brainstem. Does he need eyes? I guess it'll look something like that rather than... let's see. It's like Mimikyu, but for your Dust Bunny. Yeah, in a way, right? It's just kind of showing it's like a strangely convergent, divergent type of thing. Makes a fantastic reaction now that I've done the crop. Nice. Third form looks like a tall shot glass. How's your hand going? Thank you, Gabby. Have you already stretched? I'm doing various things while I have you on. No worries. Thank you. I did stretch, let me see, maybe 15 minutes ago, but it's never a bad thing. I would keep it at the middle stage. Like, looks like a squishy pig. Yeah, right? Yesterday was a little hectic. I know. Stretch and water. Indeed, I do have my tea. Gracias, Gabi. That is good. That is good. I'm wondering if maybe I should... The sea pig has multiple limbs, but I think I want to give it maybe just 4 limbs, because I think that will let it... It'll simplify the silhouette, and it's not like a super... What's the word? It's a lesser, not lesser organism, but it's like, it's not developed yet, you know? So it kind of makes sense to have only just 2, or sorry, 4 arms. And I think it'll just, yeah, look, I can already see it. It'll just make it look cleaner. And then we have the brain stems. Oh, hell yeah. And it's still got its quote-unquote eye, right? Without being an eye. You know what? Maybe I can still keep it like blue like this. Yeah, there you go. That looks sick. Nice. My little bunny. I suspect I'll probably really lean into like a bubble shape in the final. Okay, so you know what? Actually, I'll do this. I'll put green eye. That way. The green kind of adds like the green in the next stage, right? Hey Nada, considering the concept, I'm kind of blown away that it's cute as it is. Hell yeah. Is Fetus. Hello, Ghoul. Way late, but I caught a screen. Well, welcome in. Glad you could join us. Everyone, welcome in, Ghoul. Alright, so far so good. So we got the polyp. I do like the totem is encased in the jelly, but part of me wonders if... No, it still looks like a baby form. Friendliest of shapes as is. It looks like the D&D Brain Dog's Intellect Devourer, and the fact that the end form kind of looks like a Mind Flayer is really fun too. It looked like that slime POTEMPO. Sridam, it will be a cousin to the slime one, which I'll design after I finish rendering the brain in the VAT. So I really like how it is. Too similar? I don't think so. I mean, the first one isn't even confirmed yet. And not to mention, you probably missed the part where I said it's a good thing. It's meant to be that the slime is the primordial entity. So it's kind of cool that one aspect of the slime goes to be kind of like a dumb brain. Not dumb brain, but like a dumb entity. And then this one is like super powerful. Like even though our real world jellyfish just makes us ask a lot of questions, right? I love the POTEMPO of today. Thank you, Gabby. I appreciate you. Okay, I'm going to jump into the brain and the VAT now. Also, the size discrepancy, obviously it's not correct. I'll quickly show you guys what I'm thinking for the sizes. So in comparison to the final one, which hasn't gotten its right, it'll be something like... I don't mind if it's... Something like that seems about right for this family. This might stand at something like man height, like 6 foot, maybe a little under, maybe. Yeah, hella cute, right? It's like so weirdly gross but cute. So you know what? Let me do. I'm gonna do a little flipperoo, and let me just see how that looks. Yeah, as I suspected, it's not gonna be a bad flip, right? There's just jellyfish, but there's a nice depth to the designs, right? Okay, let me do this one. No brain, head empty, exactly right. I keep screwing that up. I'm like, head's thought, empty brain, or brain empty, head thought. Alright, so we've got sea angels, polyps, bishop fish. I've done a lot of research. Sea pig. Man, sea pigs are crazy. They've got a nice reflective sheen to them too. Sea pig. You know what I would love? An inverted plushie of the mid-stage, one side being the jelly. Oh, dude, that's such a smart idea, Oni. Holy... That's awesome. That is such a fun idea. Also, completely unrelated, ruining Oni's awesome idea. I found a cheeseburger jellyfish, so that's a thing. Okay, so let's do... I want to see if I can do some cool stuff for this last form. So I'm going to type in beautiful jellyfish. Yeah, there's just so many cool things that I can do here. Oh, I know something I could do that's really cool too. That's just a brain, but it's incredibly stupid? Yeah, I mean, he might not have the grooves, right? The wrinkles. Let me do... Okay. So, with this brain... You guys can see this okay? let's start building. Let's do jellyfish. Okay. So, yeah, there's just a lot of these beautiful jellyfish, dude. I'm gonna use this one. I like this one as reference. So I'll do maybe blue at the top. Ideally, also, I make it a different shape to the mushroom, the fairy circle mushroom. I'm gonna make this part look a little foggy. I'll grab this color and just make it a little darker here. I'm wondering, maybe what I could do with the maybe what I can do with maybe it's all green. I could do a thing where the tentacles maybe could be these really flappy kind of things that I've seen the jellyfish, like their tentacle dresses, ribbons, things, you know? Man, jellyfish are so beautiful, it's crazy. Also, so I have to show the brains have gotten the bell, what's it? The bell or the bulb of the jellyfish have reached like max max wrinkles and stuff. I'm gonna cut it into half, right? And these could look like eyelashes, you know? And now here's the quote-unquote brain stem, and again, I like the way the tentacle bits look like a spinal cord, which again is a lot. I should continue the green eyes, because it needs to have some sort of place for the viewer to connect. I like the idea of maybe like it gets darker maybe because it's encased. And then, you know what? It's okay if there's overlap, I think, between the mushroom and this guy. Because it could just be this cool thing where, you know, one is a mushroom, one is a jellyfish. They're both mysterious, crazy creatures, right? And they're both doing cool and unique things, right? It's pretty insane, right? Okay, is this a box jelly-sized goo or lion's mane gel? I mean, about 6 feet or so. Brain so smooth, looks like a gumball. It still has eyes, big swirly brain groove eyes. Exactly. Is it gonna have any appendages like a tentacle? I think it could, but I think it defeats the purpose of the, you know, the brain. The whole point of the brain in the vat is it doesn't need a body, or rather, like, its body is far away. So I feel like it would look really cool to add something, just to add flair and movement, but I should probably keep it simple. The whole point is it's just the brain, right? Like, that is the concept. It's just the processing, right? Like, it's not meant to be anything more, right? So maybe it'll be something like that. We do... I mean, it could still look like it's got a mouth, but that's freaking creepy. What do you guys think so far? Pretty cool? I do like the rendering. It'll look nicer, of course, when I finish this. Let me simplify this here. It could have at least some movement, like here, you know? This looks so crazy. And I'll do green, green, like this. Is this too much? Is this too gross and weird? Take care, Ghoul. Have a good one. The brain to stem connection resembles a throw-in. What is a throw-in? Do that. I miss my limbs. Yeah, right? This line turned out great. Thank you. Yeah, I really like it. It's really creepy, but maybe that means it's working, right? Like, it's pretty crazy concept. Jelly rendering is nice. Because now I'm worried that it doesn't really feel like a jellyfish, per se. I wonder if blue would work too. I mean, blue would certainly work too. How big is it? Depending on how tall is how I feel. About 6 feet. I think it looks awesome. Cool, cool, cool. I think it's the right amount of complexity. Yeah, and I think for a second, whenever I do the second pass, I'm sure I will really get to its peak design. Let me see. I'm looking up some more reference. There's some pictures of brain in the jar stuff here. It could be cool if I did a thing where maybe Krang subspecies. I do a thing where maybe the blue at the bottom can kind of pool up and it kind of looks like more of a containment jar type of thing, you know? These could also look like you know, arms and stuff, right? Like that's been folded in. I kind of like the idea potentially to like just add maybe some sort of like spiky appendage, as if it's like some sort of antennae, you know, and it kind of just adds more to maybe more logical actions. Use the right body, more creative moves use the left body. Left brain is logic but controls right, and the right brain is controlled but left. There's a Japanese myth that says the jellyfish used to have bones but it got removed as punishment for failing its task. Holy crap, that sounds awesome. Are you losing your powers? Get them back. Want to eat it? I think the tentacles from the hood, like having some slide down just to give it a little bit of movement, right? And to be fair, they wouldn't be used as appendages. It's just to make it look like it. You know what? Maybe I could do something like another veil. And then this is definitely a more complex design, but it's like a very,
Shopify helps you sell at every stage of your business.
you know, like interesting, unique concept. So I think it's worth it to like
Whatever your stage,
go all in, you know?
with Shopify. Sign up today at shopify.com/YouTube audio.
And once I render out, you know, inside feels like the larvation we were discussing. Celosia looks like a brain. Who's Celosia? I've actually eaten brain? What kind of brain? Ooh. Hold on, look at this. You see how these guys have like these little dots? I kind of want to see if... Oh, you know what? I could do a thing like where the rest of the brains has these dots all over. You know what? I think I'm gonna... I'm gonna have it be kind of obscured, maybe. And I'll have this come straight down. And then whatever color I choose, it'll be something like this. I mean, this has got to be one of the most insane designs I've done. You know what? I'll even add green to this guy right here to like look like neurons traveling. I want to make this guy's eyes massive. And it's cute because it looks like he's got glasses and he's his little smarty pants. I mean, I think that looks pretty damn cool, chat. What do you think? Very alien-y, true. Motion capture through wire connection parts. If you stipple the dots, honestly, I know I said before, but adding that low spike makes it look like the Flatwoods monster. Breaded cow brain with lemon sauce. Oh, it sounds gross, but it's natural. It's not like brain is like a weird thing. Solution's a flower? Copy that. Just looked up for my work. It's coming together. Thank you. Looks badass. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I think it will surely benefit from a second pass, but this is what I'm going to do as well. So I'm going to, now that I've done this line, which by the way, we're at an hour 40. Not bad, right? Like, I think what I want to do, I want to work on the other slime line, and I'm going to make it very simple. I missed the mark last time I made a very complex set, but look, it led towards this, right? Like one way or another, designs lead towards something. And, you know, that's essentially what happened here. I think what I'm going to do is work on the simple, regular fantasy slime right now. Yeah, Sriram, I did comment yesterday. I was going to work on the Garuda today, so much so, ready? That I made the, let me see. I made the thumbnail. So I might do Garuda tomorrow, and I'll make it more of a peacock entity. It won't look scary like this. I think this is from Bali or Indonesia. This looks awesome, but it's not the vibe that I want to go for. Like all this other beautiful ornamentation and such, I do want to do, but the teeth, no. That said, it'll be based on a peacock because I'm going to do it from my homestead of India. In fact, I added a few more Indian mythology and whatnot for me to tackle, because this is going to essentially be my love letter to my culture in the form of an India region, right? But rather than doing Pokemon region, I'm doing my own thing. What does it taste like? I have no idea. I hope I never know. You mean the jellyfish or the chicken brain? But yeah, looks like Euphoro. I want it to look scary. No, the Garuda is not a scary entity. It's actually and not to mention, I've made a lot of cool, badass, scary things. It should look graceful, badass, cool, you know, not scary. But yeah, I will tell you about the other India kind of stuff. And in fact, yeah, let me take a quick break and I'll read to you guys what I've added to my POTEMPO list. So, ready? I'm going to pull out the Gorgon, okay? The Gorgon, aka Medusa. I already have an India creature for that, specifically Seshanaga, or the Naga, which is basically like the Lamia, a snake lady. So in another region, I'll do a more Gorgon eccentric, like snake hair kind of thing. I'll let that be one thing, but that way I can have Naga in the Indian side. I'm going to make a cool Gariel Makara type of entity, which you guys knew about. Something that I'm going to be adding is, for the Indian section, 2 more things, chat. So there's something called a Preta, if you look them up. And they're very creepy, nasty ghosts. So I realized I didn't have a formal ghost in my world, right? Like, it's a classic. So the Preta, also known as the hungry ghost, is the Sanskrit name for a type of supernatural being described in Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, and Chinese folklore. And the idea is that they're beings that undergo suffering greater than that of humans, right? Particularly an extreme level of hunger and thirst. They have their origins in Indian religions and have been adopted into East Asian religions via the spread of Buddhism. So Preta is often translated into English as hungry ghost. And so the idea, this is crazy, ready? Basically, they're living in this purgatory kind of state. And that, you know, they need to be cleansed through a variety of rituals and stuff. But the idea is, Pretas are believed to have been false, corrupted, compulsive, deceitful, jealous, or greedy people in a previous life. As a result of their karma, they're afflicted with an insatiable hunger for a particular substance or object. Traditionally, this is something repugnant or humiliating, such as cadaver or feces, though in more recent stories, it can be anything, however bizarre. So the idea is they have insatiable hunger. And they have like disturbing visions. Looks wise, this is what's going to be really cool and really fun about this design. I get to make it more of like a general crow. I just read crow. But they have like long necks and nasty gigantic bellies. So I feel like I could make these like very cool frog creatures. Or I could just make them like really nasty humanoid ghosts. I don't know exactly how I want to do it, but there's a reason why they have long necks and large stomachs, and it's basically supposed to be the visual representation of what they're suffering from, right? They have like these full disgusting bellies. Food needs to travel through the neck, so it's really long. It's a whole thing. So I added the pretas to the list, which I think is really cool. And then something called the karkadan. All right. This is basically the Indian unicorn. And you see in Arabic, Persian, karkadan. I guess you can mostly say it is Arabic. But the region is mostly in India and Persia. And so more or less it's a rhino, but before people realized what it was. So the same thing happened with the unicorn, right? It's a horse with a horn, but no, it's just a rhino. Would they be bondable? They would. I'm not making them naturally like the way we think. It's still going to be a cute creature. Like, I mean, even the brain and the fat, when I find the design, it should still look appealing and not like grotesque, right? It should look cool and creepy and badass, but still in a way that fits the rest of the world. So remind me of the crow idea also as I continue this real quick. Ghost of Hunger for D20s. Yeah, so I would make this thing my take on a rhino. It'll be kind of like a rhino unicorn type of thing. Apparently they described the rhino's horn, this thing, to have like a sword or scimitar. So that'll be a really cool combination kind of entity. So yeah, I get to put the rhino in here. And then tomorrow, dang, so should I do birds? We still don't have a bird, but I'm gonna make this a surprise. I'll save one thing that I added as a surprise. Let's see, I might be changing the dune worm. It won't be changed that much, but there was apparently a giant worm called the Indus worm that was like this white worm, massive with teeth, that fought like against Alexander the Great's troops. Obviously it wasn't real, but rather than making it the dune worm, it could be cool to make it a massive Indian mythological worm. So yeah, there's that. But I might just keep dune worm just because it is another sci-fi, or like, you know, kind of like on the line of like King Kong, Godzilla, Cthulhu, but in general pop cultureized one. What else did I ask? Oh, I'm translating an Angolan mythological entity called the Kishi, and specifically a were hyena. I realized I didn't have a what do you call it, a werewolf. So combining a werewolf and a were hyena, or rather a were version, nice and simple. That should be a fun design. It'll be a simple 2-stage line. I'm adding, I think Dingus would like this, the Mananganal, I think is how you say it. I'm gonna make it like a bat. Seems just about right. It won't be anything too crazy. It'll be a simple 2-stage line so I can shout out the Philippines. I took out the Tarask, and I've made in as far as France, I don't have like a snail slug kind of entity. So the Lukakok, I think that's how you say it, that will be in lieu of the Tarask. Tarask is a chimeric powerful beast. I'll save that and the Manticore for another region. Let's see here. Bixi, Kidding. I have the Phoenix, aka Feng Wang or Feng Huang. Oh, So I'm going to have the Mishipishu, Aztec, like underwater panther type of thing, because I needed like a big cat, like a regular one. I'm also adding the Tanuki from Japanese mythology, because I just love Tanuki and raccoon dog. Raccoons are cute. It'll be an interesting challenge because, you know, if you know about the Tanuki. And then I want to do something like mimic to Genie to Pandora's box. I think that would be really freaking cool, but I don't know exactly how to do it. But that is a must. I want to do that line. It would be one of the only object mon lines, you know? But yeah, still figuring out, feel very good about this direction. So let's see over here. Kind of makes me think of the weird goat creatures that popped up in Nadpod C1. They were underground, river, and strange. Oh yeah, they were. I think they were meant to just be like satyrs and like unsatiable like fawn type of thing, which I think is more a Greco-Roman nod, right? Fun fact: crows will try to extinguish small fires. They're so cute. Rhino kebab. Actually, it's real. I would know. I was there with Alexander. Crows can speak human, but humans can't speak crow. No, I'm not gonna do no. I do want more African mythos. So it was cool to find the Angolan concept there. Shout out to the Philippines. Hyena are one of my favorite animals, and I have a cool Hyenamon Pokemon that I made and a cool Rhino Pokemon that I made. So I want to bring them over to my game because we don't really have some cool hyenas yet. We have Mighty Hyena, but like that's not to me a true hyena. And we have Rhyhorn Rhydon, but like I love my rhinos, and I think I can bring them and make them really cool here. Bonnie, if you need to blow your nose, you should. All that phlegm, is it sounding like phlegmy? Do I have a... We'll do Europe later, Asia and Africa for now. Yeah, Europe got a lot of love already. Understandable. Underwater Panther is not Aztec, is it not? Someone correct me. And let me know if Mishipeshu is correct, if that's the right name for what I'm thinking. I want it to be... I could either do Mishipeshu or some sort of jaguar. I think a jaguar is really Aztec, and I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, Pandora's box is actually fun. I don't care why people think it's dangerous, because they're not cool like us. But yeah, I think that mimic to Genie in a lamp type of thing into Pandora's box, like the Genie is one of many monsters, is a really awesome, through line. But yeah, there's a few other things that I added that I won't quite go into. Brass Bull to Minotaur, as you guys know. Now that I've moved Gorgon out, in another game I want to do maybe like Siren into Gorgon into Harpy. Into this one, this is going to be really cool, gang. Spider egg that's going to, or a general insect egg that hatches either into Jorogummo or Scorpion Men from Babylon. Babylonian culture, mythology. But yeah, it's gonna be really cool. One thing was joking about French. Underwater Panther is the Algonquin Ottawa. Got you. Native North America. Copy. I could do Shaman, but the Shaman is more like a holy priest, and I don't want to like take real world kind of people and concepts. Like maybe I could do, say, an Indian sage, because I'm Indian. I could do a sadhu or some sort of guru, you know? But I wouldn't want to do like a Native American shaman or another kind of culture. I know, that song is an absolute bop. Yeah, dude, let me know if you got any cool Caribbean ones. For sure. I would also love if chat could fill me in on potentially some... the creatures that I need, because I've got a good range of animals. Chipotle currently isn't in. I gotta reword that the right way, because I do got crocs, I do got alligators. I don't want to repeat animals as much, which is partially why I took out the Gorgon. And again, the creatures that I do, yeah, people are gonna find parallels to Pokemon, whatever. But I want to do ones that we haven't quite seen yet. Right? Or at the very least, lesser ones, right? So, yeah, if you've got animals that I haven't quite done yet, that'd be great. Love how the front end looks like a spine, but also a bit like a vertical mount. Thank you. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. It's definitely creepy. I think, again, I'm going to look at it again in a little bit. But what I will do is, now that I've gone over the POTEMPO I've added and removed, and now I've, again, more and more awesome variety and diversity, not just in world cultures, but animals as far as inspo, getting closer and closer to locking in. And again, drawing and designing will decide the final batch, right? I could say I want to do this and that, but like, if certain concepts don't fit the vision, you know, you guys got to imagine how many Pokemon that the designers at Game Freak must go through. I'm guessing thousands. And they might say it's not the right concept, it's not the right place, right time. Maybe it's down for another region that we'll do 5 years, you know, down the line. No worries, Draco, I got you. How about a cicada? Cicada would be cool, but what would it hit as far as a mythological lean? Maybe locust, like a biblical kind of thing. But I have about 150, so my list is pretty tight. There's a few things I might be able to potentially move around, but I've got like vulture slash condor, bat. Like, you gotta have natural things like bat, turtle, a scarab. I've got like a bunch of bugs, not a lot, but a cat, jaguar, raccoon. Like, there's a nice range. I looked at Puerto Rican cryptids, and there was chupacabra sightings. Were there? Yeah. It's Puerto Rican, and then I think the more Mexican side has leaned it more, like the sightings have been saying, more dog-like. Hundreds of designs. Yeah, absolutely. And the revisions might make them different creatures altogether, or different concepts. Again, I'm betting a lot of it's right place, right time, or it's like, this might work in another franchise or series, right? Okay, so I'm gonna just jump into a simple 2-stage line, and I'm only gonna keep it 2, because the idea is that it's a slime. It's, you know, I'm treating it like an amoeba or like a single cell, like it's very simple. And, you know, if there's a connection to the jellyfish, I think that's really cool too. But this will be slime, and it'll be like fantasy slime. This is a classic type of creature that we see in Dragon Quest and D&D and Breath of the Wild. But yeah, basically, what Aztec creature? I'm going to, ideally, if it's not Mishipeshu, which is a northern indigenous concept, I would love to do Jaguar for Aztec. But yeah, for birds. So yeah, I've been asked about this. I'll quickly go over my birds, actually. Let me pull it out, because I haven't done a lot of birds. I have my owl bear, which doesn't count entirely like a bird. But as far as birds, I have a Garuda, right, from Indian, which will be like peacock, right? Something we haven't seen in Pokemon yet. I have over here, wyvern doesn't count. Neither does the dragonfly or hornet. They fly, but they're not quite birds. One of my legendary creatures will be like an advanced peacock. I won't go any further on what that means exactly. But let me see here, because the way I've listed it, so I've got, like, for example, dinosaur, like ape, octopus, peacock, king cobra, tiger, monkey, gharial, elephant, ghost. So I'm looking down through this way. Oh, I have a raven / crow for the Tengu. I do want to do a 3-stage line for the Tengu, which I think would be really, really cool. Fox, catfish. Oh, I have the vulture for the Impundulu, which is from Zanzibar in Africa, country in Africa. I have the bat, which is not quite a bird. I have a griffin, which will have eagle elements. I guess that's not a true bird. I don't really have a lot of birds. What birds have we not done in Pokemon yet? There's also a time travel dog type idea. Okay, I gotta hear about that. There's a native story about crows. Basically, crows used to be rainbow colored and bright and beautiful. They stole fire from the gods, were cursed to remain black after. I do want to leave the crow. That is an awesome story, which maybe is why, you know, we see their plumage have like a beautiful sheen to them, right? Underwater panther called Mishipeshu is one of the most important of several mythical beings amongst indigenous people of northeastern. Yeah, I kind of want to include that. Maybe I can have that split into an Aztec jaguar and one into the Mishipeshu. That could be cool. Sold lineup from what I hear. Nice to have more South Asian reps. Hell yeah, brother. Because I just love Tengu, so I have to put Tengu in this one. Otherwise, I could skip the Tengu and go for Plague Doctor. Because I do have a Plague Rat. Part of my reason why I'm not putting the Plague Rat and the Plague Doctor in the same thing is to be like, they haven't found the cure for the Plague Rat yet, which is a Plague Doctor from another region that would need to be imported. You're talking about Tetsa Let me write that down. Because I could split that. It's both indigenous kind of cultures, so it'd be cool to have one, you know, panther that goes underwater, and then another that, you know? Yeah, I might just do that. Mishipeshu, which is Great Lakes, and then I'll do Aztec, Panther, and Jaguar. That's pretty cool. And that's Tezcatlipoca. Tango, I know that's basically Shiftry. Oh, I mean, yes and no, but really cool. I love Tengu. They're just so cool. Hummingbird, the quail. The quail wouldn't be cool. I think, no offense to the quail, he's just a chicken to me. I like the hummingbird. A March hummingbird. I could do a terror bird. Like, so I have something that feels like kind of like a dinosaur. Plasmodium slime. The rook, those giant bird monsters that can hunt and carry an elephant. You said a ghost. What about a duppy? There are ghosts that can be small as cat. They can be good or bad. The god Bhairava as a pet dog and can time travel? Hell yeah. What is a plasmodium slime? Split between a jaguar and gunpowder? Yeah, I'll do that, and that'll be a 2-stage line. Let's see. I do need more birds, so I'll do one terror bird. I might have to... Now, what could I connect as the terror bird and make it a 2-stage line? Maybe that it could just be ancient as its category, just like old world, you know? Oh, wait a second, you know what? I can do the hummingbird. Nice. What I'll do is I'm going to make the hummingbird the basis for the fairy. And then I'm going to make the hornet the chaos side where it'll be a pixie. That's good. Nice. So fairy will be order, hornet is chaos. So fairy is pixie, fairy is hummingbird and hornet's pixie. Thunderbird. I do have a Thunderbird. It's the input influence. I'm gonna make it. It's their version, the African version of a Thunderbird. A dodo. Oh, a dodo into. Oh, that would be like Doduo though. Tezcatlipoca was a bit of a douche. Made it rain jaguars after one insult. Yeah, but all those gods are really rude. Zeus and all of them. Okay, so we've added a terror bird and a hummingbird. Oh, and then I've got a golden pheasant for the phoenix. Okay, I think that's good. I think that's good for now. The phoenix is a pretty powerful one. Like I said, I have the vulture. Okay. That's good. The trouble is, I don't want to say trouble, but a kiwi bird? I can't picture that thing fighting. Is there any starters for this game? I don't know yet. I have an idea of what I could do for starters. You guys want to hear it, or should I save it as a surprise? Because I don't want to do starters because it is a very Pokemon-centric thing, but people seem to love it. I'd rather people just kind of like go into the world and just befriend a creature rather than be like, here's a specific 3 that's going to be your first best friend. Now, if I also see myself giving the player potential, like kind of like in the vein, I don't want to give away too much, but kind of like in the vein of Scarlet and Violet, your quote-unquote starter could be like a legendary, and you befriend this legendary, and then you find, you know, maybe your first starter is like a random POTEMPO that could be from any place in the world somehow. And then you're like given one, or not given, but earn one. And you make a connection to that rather than me say, pick one of these 3 because you liked its baby form, red, blue, or green, you know? Surprise, I want to hear it. Kiwi bird that's shaped like a kiwi. It's already been done. I've seen it. Aztecs believe in 4 worlds before our own. Ooh, that's kind of a cool concept. Something similar in POTEMPO. I'm not going to give you any more. But it kind of explains why mythology might be prevalent. Okay, I think I've got a decent amount of birds now. Added a hummingbird and a terror bird. So, are we ready to continue? But yeah, ideally I don't have starters. I'm not fond of them for my game. I love them for Pokemon. You know? And the moment I do starters, there becomes an expectation, and starters get understandably a lot of love, but I want, like, I'm gonna treat all my designs to be the best they could possibly be, you know? So to me, like, if you randomly found, I'd have to figure out exactly how I would do it, but I think it'd be really cool. I think it would be really cool for you to, like, befriend a POTEMPO that, like, you don't see coming, you know? And then everybody's experience would be very different. Ostrich? We just got an ostrich, actually. Don't want the, I want to start her, but I don't know. What about a Zemibird? I'm gonna look up Zemibird because I've never heard of that. Again, ideally, if we can connect it to a mythos, that would be cool. Like, again, I can make... I'm not seeing much for Zemibird. I'm seeing, like, some... like a plover. Some cool statues. Tino, Zemis, and Duhos. I will... Oh, they're Tino spirits that protect and guide people. They're called sweet birds. That's too cute. Let me write Tino spirit Zemi. Maybe deity or ancestral spirit in a sculptural object housing the spirit. Some are effigies of bird snakes. Okay, so it's not quite a bird specifically, but it is really cool looking. I like the designs for them. Pamola, bird, moose spirit who causes cold weather? Abenaki. I'll mark that down in case I want to. Alright, I should probably start drawing, right? I'm getting a little sidetracked. I appreciate all this stuff, though. I would love to play a Pokemon game where you can create. That would never happen, unfortunately, Justin. Starters are among the most curated designs in a region. They're very specifically designed, especially now, to be connected to the region. You know, there's a lot that goes into it, which is again why I feel like, you know, so I really don't want to use the term starters for my game. You'll probably be given like if not given, you'll earn a story unique POTEMPO, and maybe that could be something that's carried throughout each of the games if I ever become successful with them. But I'd probably want it to be kind of a thing where maybe it's a lottery system for the second one. So you could get any random POTEMPO in the world, befriend that one, you know? I think that's better. Are your starters going to look something along the lines of Mochi? Who is Mochi? It sounds familiar. Wasn't that a Pokemon that I named? Or POTEMPO I'm excited for the most. Godzilla, POTEMPO, well, Godzilla and T-Rex are kind of combined, potentially. I don't know if I'll do T-Rex on its own, but I would do a T-Rex for a part 2. But either Godzilla will look like Godzilla, or it's like kind of like a dinosaurid giant T-Rex looking type of thing, or it might look like Groudon or something, you know, something like that. D&D Western Dragon POTEMPO, yeah, I got those guys in a split. Sun Lizard will be a salamander. So yeah, plenty of cool stuff coming up. Progression POTEMPO, what does that mean? Okay, let me get back on this, and we will try and finish up our stream. So it would be cool if maybe this guy as a slime. So whereas the jellyfish is, I guess, more like fully encased their totem stack, I like this guy kind of being like on his way to, and you can kind of see that they're cousins. Mochi from Monster Rancher, I don't know what he looks like. I'm gonna make him green. It's just classic. And you know, part of me wants to, I think he does need an eye, but I kind of see him with like one eye. Mike Wachowski vibes, right? And again, this will be a very simple line because, well, why wouldn't they? They're slimes. And this feels right just to give it like this very intangible shape, like it can kind of just become anything. But let's see what we can do with it. Would you be able to nickname? Yeah, I don't see why not. I don't see why not. I think nicknames are a very important part of like befriending them, right? It gives you a chance to kind of make them yours. There's going to be an interesting lean to that though, because as I've said, POTEMPO aren't creatures you own. You're borrowing their powers. But the idea is that you're befriending them, you know, for the rest of your life. As long as you don't hurt them. But there's this cool concept that, you know, I'll talk about in the story of the game, where who knows how many people in the past may have bonded with this spirit, you know? And like you're one of many to bond with this creature. There's like a beautiful image of friendship there, right? Where actually it should go like this. I don't know what I was trying to do there. Like with Pokemon, I always laugh. I think about like the games are like, let's beat these creatures literally or figuratively to an inch of their HP bar or and their life. And then you chuck a ball at their face, and then, you know, you befriend them. And that's fine, that's how the game works. I'm not trying to sound like a hater, but, you know. Just makes sense for the slime, for the eyes to kind of cover one of the eyes, right? Rendering jelly and stuff is so fun. Alright, it's a little basic, but I'm gonna see what I can do to make it maybe a little more interesting. But I do want this to be a gelatinous cube, and it'll look a little more interesting than a typical gelatinous cube. But looks like My Singing Monsters Helmet, don't know what that is. A school cafeteria jello, yes sir. I honestly think the final slime form for this pajama is looking kind of like Muck Grimer, but different enough to tell between the two. I haven't even drawn it yet, Draco. How do you know, ya bud? But yeah, it's going to kind of look like that one way or another. You're not wrong, Draco. You're not wrong. You can't really avoid that. So I'm seeing like Ditto vibes. It'll probably have a little bit of Muck Grimer vibes for sure. Look at this little delicious snot emote, the Soul King from Shaman King. Also don't know what that looks like. Can POTEMPO have character traits attached to them to differentiate themselves? How can one gamify friendship, if at all? Wonderful question, Dario. Do POTEMPOs fight out of boredom, or is there a bigger reason? So let me answer and field these questions as they come. But the idea would be that my first question is, can POTEMPO have character traits attached to them? So yeah, the idea, the big kind of thing so far, and once again, like, I guess it, you know, POTEMPO in many ways is me, you know, putting my stamp on, you know, maybe you could have like bubbling. Oh well, he would look kind of like acidic, right, or toxic if I made him like this. But the idea is, at the end of the day, anything that anybody wants to make, they want to, you know, put their stamp on something, right? They want to create something that, you know, really, again, fix is a dangerous word, right? People like really take the word redesign like too how do you say it? Not seriously, but like they take it like as a personal offense, like if you want to redesign something they like. But a redesign, you know, especially if you're a fan artist, is just practice. It's just you know, it's just a way for you to express your fandom. So a lot of times if someone creates a product, right, it's because they're like, oh well, I was trying to buy something but I couldn't find something in the market, so I decided to, okay, let me make my version of the thing that I was trying to make. In some cases because maybe the things that they try to buy didn't do things well enough, or they had a better way to expand on it. So am I saying what I'm trying to create is better than Pokemon? No. I'm not saying it's better than Pokemon, I'm not saying it's better than Digimon or this or that, but where I can, I want to be able to, again, leave my stamp, that's one, and two, yeah, maybe fix the things that Pokemon can't do, you know, can't adjust or work on because, you know, they're very ingrained and have their product and identity, right? So I guess one of the big, you know what? I think what I'm going to do, I was thinking about it. I'm gonna give it a single eye. It just feels right to give a slime a single eye. So one of the mechanics is the order and chaos mechanic, and it's because when I looked at, say, Pokemon like Gengar, I've said this on chat before, Gengar's dex entries say something like, oh, this Pokemon will like destroy you in the dead of night, and da 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 da, and it's very matter of fact, right? Many of the Pokedex entries. But then we come to the anime, and then you could also like put two and two together and be like, you know, Pokedex entries should be far more liberal in how they depict certain creatures. Gengar can be a scary, demonic, awful ghost kind of creature, or it could be a super adorable, cute, fun-loving prankster. So I like the idea that my POTEMPO are creatures that vary as far as personality, right? And that so far is even affect evolution, right? Like usually the direction of chaos or order. And remember, and I know for a fact that this is going to really annoy me, people, you guys already know, but like when people first see it, what we're used to is given flavors like the Sith are bad and the Jedi are good. You know, Kingdom Hearts, light versus darkness. The dark is inherently bad and light is inherently good. Chaos and order isn't inherently good or bad. Chaos means you simply like to revel, maybe with the unknown. You don't stick with a routine. You live life, you know, to the fullest and explore. And order doesn't mean you're inherently good. It just means you enjoy certainty and you're, you know, maybe more safer, and that's what that means. So as far as character traits, sure, when you meet them, like they're, you know, maybe depending if they're order or chaos, they could be leaning in one direction, but there's also that fair middle ground. And that fair middle ground allows you to kind of impact or impart your particular personality traits, right? Now, the full extent of all that I haven't really worked out, sure. But, you know, that's stuff that will come when it's ready. So hopefully that's a good answer. Okay, next up. Just got out of counseling. Welcome, Dr. Crowbar. Are these two related biologically? I think so. I would say this is like a primordial version, like an ancient version, and it just never needed to evolve. I just remember another bird, a penguin, maybe for the terror bird. It would be really cute. You'll have to remind me, Draco. That would be really cute. I'm gonna mark that on the side. Penguin to terror bird would be adorable. Again, if I can connect something with the terror bird, that'd be cool. Maybe it'll be, you know, like a... Maybe that could be my homage to Fossilmon, right? I mean, much of this is all a homage, right? I actually have designed a mechanic for friendship. Save me for my own video. Yeah, no, you save it. Don't tell anybody. I wouldn't want to take something from anybody anyway. I want to really come up with things as my own. Reimagine redoing the slime. Yeah, we did a whole line, a new line for jellyfish and then slime. It's bringing lime with your own design sensibilities. Exactly. That's not as thick, indeed. I see people get triggered when artists use the word fix and redrawing. Exactly. D&D, evil, and chaos are two different spectrums for a reason. It's true. But evil is evil, right? As you make it out. Secretary bird. I do like a secretary bird, but I'm trying to think what mythology it could hit, you know? Is there a POTEMPO that's neutral that embodies both? All POTEMPO can be neutral. Like, it's your choice as the tamer, right? Or the Again, I'm trying to find the right word. It's not trainer, it's not tamer. It's more like partner. I want to find a word like partner, confidant. You're its guide, you know, you're its like guide in this world. Like they're not used to this world, right? All right, here's my little slime baby. Chaos is freedom and order can be exactly. And you can see it, you know, it's all a matter of perspective anyway, right, gang? You know, at the end of the day, somebody can, yeah, impose chaos and make you feel uncomfortable because it's not what you're used to. Or they can employ order and, you know, demand you to live a certain kind of way that, you know, is also uncomfortable to you. It's retainer is nice. You're the retainer. That is nice. This sounds like trainer too, which is fun. Anything else I can do for this? I think there's one thing I can do left for this slime, chat. Do you know what it is? Oh. I know what it is. It's so simple. Ready? There's an anime word for it, or like a Japanese word for like this hairstyle. Done. Now it's done. He's so cute. It's not a bubble. It's like the hair that usually goes like this. All right. So slime fantasy. He's done. Now, I do ahoge. Is that what it is? All right. So we have these here. Is there any scrapped? No, I don't. No scrapped. I have to move. Oh, I do have to move. This guy is now scrapped, so I'll put him here. All right. So those are all the quote-unquote scrap designs. Now I'm going to bring. Well, I'll do it a little later. Cowlick, yeah. Ahoge or idiot hair? Oh goodness. Okay, so now I want to make my slime. There's like a variation to the slime when I was redesigning muck that I like, that I want to bring over. So if it's like a gelatinous cube, which is, you know, what I want to do, a gelatinous cube. Let's make it 3D. I'm gonna have the bottom still. It's always weird to look at my client, my stream client, and draw this way rather than this way. But I'm gonna do it. So I'm going to do a thing where I like the idea of the teeth like this. And I'm gonna bring that idea before where, what is this word called, chat? This thing, and there's gonna be an eyeball in the middle. And then I want to do a thing where it gains these like rocky kind of mouth, like raked up out of the ground. Because if it's sliding everywhere, I like the idea that it kind of gets crusty at the bottom. I don't know if it'll stay, but it'll give a nice balance to the design, since when you look at hold on, sorry, I'm focusing. When you look at a slime creature, there's not enough textures, right? Like, I mean, obviously there's not a lot, but doing something like rocky bits to make up the teeth will really make it a more impactful kind of line. Impactful? No, like add like a nice visual diversity, right? Alright, looks good. Ooh, you know what I could do? I could even have it look like gums. See, isn't this such a fun gelatinous cube inspo? I'm gonna make it, again, this is gonna be a very simple design. It's literally just a moving blob. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Right? So it makes sense that it's just so, it's got one eye, it's very simple-minded, it doesn't have a third form, it's just kind of like in its peak form, right? Rendering this thing will be difficult, not impossible. And I'm gonna have it so that, you know what, I might just make it, again, to have like a little bit of a balance. Get some orange in there, right? And yellow. Get some white for the suspended eye in the uvula thingy. I think that's what it's called. Okay, we're back. Uvula, crusty. Like a cheesecake crust? Hell yeah, sketch. Eye on the uvula, exactly. Our slime's like a hive mind creature. They're not hive mind. Like, they're not like a creature that can like communicate with each other at a distance. I think a clear slime is probably the way to go. But like, that might be really hard to continue to illustrate, so maybe like it gets really gelatinous to the point where, or at the very least like thick where the walls are kind of blocked, you know, because then it would be, I think, easier, like it would be cool to give depth inside this thing, right? What do you guys think? This is what I was more thinking before, you know? There's going to be a split Evo. D&D's all blacks would really work really well for a Chaos Gothic. What is an Oblex? Orcish? Yeah, it is kind of orcish, right? My colorblind butt can't tell that's two colors. Yeah, it is very subtle, so it is hard to tell regardless. They kind of do look like cousins in a way, which is nice. In the final, I'll really define them to be cousins. Holy shit, I cooked today. I ain't even gonna hold you. Alright, now let me flip these guys. Okay. And this guy's gonna be big. I think I want him to be like 8 feet tall or something. You know? Might be too big, but we'll see. Okay, I would eat this, Jelen. Obelix is an intelligent slime that sucks the memories of its victims. It can almost make perfect replicas of its victims and control them like puppets. That is pretty cool. I love this edgy ass slime. It makes me so happy. Hell yeah. No, I think I'm gonna keep it simple. Like I said, I have limited space, so I've got to start saying no more. I do like that. I'll mark it down in case there's space. And you know, to be fair, I could do you know, more two-stage splits as well. But again, part of what's appealing is creating like a variety. Like I was thinking today, like, do I even need a tree ant and a swamp thing? And I was like, well, it's got to be a counterpart to the mushrooms. I'm like, does it need to be a counterpart to mushrooms? You know what I mean? Like, I was like, it doesn't. Aphid. Oblak is a real substance. A slime that under low pressure. Oh crap. Okay, that's cool. Did not know that. No, it's unconventional, but I was like, this is the mascot no matter what. You know what? Like, listen, I don't want it to be, but like, the whole, again, as I said before, well, it's not that I don't want it to be, because already there's another slime that's a mascot of a monster tamer, and that's, or in general, like a fantasy with like cool monsters, which is Dragon Quest. But again, it's the fans who decide in reality, right? That's like, you know, me trying to push a mascot is like, you know, if there's like pages where they hear a meme and they're like, I want to get in on this, you know, and they're trying to force something. What the people will is the winner, right? But it is very much a success how much fun and personality is in this guy. And he's just a slime. I'm not gonna make him angry. I don't think he's even emotional. You know, he's just probably hungry and he just consumes everything. This is a fun render so far. Just realized I've been drawing for a while, but I did have a nice break, but I am feeling the strain, so I'll probably start wrapping up very, very soon.
This is the sound of your ride home with Dad after he caught you vaping.
I'm gonna just add a little bit of depth here, as if it's like this kind of...
Awkward, isn't it? Most vapes contain seriously addictive levels of
like
nicotine.
mandible, you know, like a simple kind of mandible.
Know the real cost of vapes. Brought to you by the FDA.
Again, it just adds a little bit more to the design. I don't know if I'll keep the bottom teeth like that. I do like it. Like, it's a fun extra kind of texture that adds to the design, you know? Maybe it moves really slow, but like it's just biding its time and it chomps you real quick. So something that's really interesting that I'm, you know, really happy with right now, of course, is the fact that like I really do like this design, and it's just making me think about when I did the first pass, right? Like the first version of this creature, it was, you know, quite different, right? Like I went in a completely different direction that, you know, I had a cool end product, but it wasn't what I was looking for, right? Because I didn't know what I was looking for. And I still, with many of the designs that are going to be dropping, I'm still trying to discover and feel out what I want the design to be, right? And one way or another, it was still successful, right? Because having gone as complex as I did, it gave me a really awesome base concept for, you know, jellyfish line. And then it gave me a much more simplified jelly design, which is what I was trying to create that day, right? Let me go more of a, yeah, that's the color. 100% that's the color. My slime! It looks so fucking good. Let's see. There was a suggestion image, rather you have less work? Of course. I know it's unconventional. You will have multiple color variants. I don't know, maybe. Welcome back. Side feels plain. It's the Polyworld, the side mascot for a bit. But I meant Hiveman, more like made up of tiny creatures. Oh, probably not, because these are spirits, so I don't see them being like super tangible in that way. If it were Pokemon, I think that's how I would have treated this. But I would probably say, yeah, I gotta still figure out, these are spirits after all, right? So it's more like they're just uncovering their potential, like that's in them the whole time, right? Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure about the teeth, gang. You know what? It could just be a darker green. And it's just like, yeah, I think that's probably the case. It's just more of a crusty... Yeah, maybe it's something like that. Why? Photoshop, you piss me off sometimes, though. All right, render looks pretty good for now. Cool. Now I'll get the size stuff as well. Let's see. I like it simple and fun. Me too. Agario? Who is Agario in an alternate universe? Slime Ranger is a bunch. Also like Coral or Manowar. Been shiny hunting in PLA during the stream. Been gotten 4 shinies. Congrats. Holy crap. What if the teeth were spearheads or swords? I could ate someone and the weapons are what's left over. This is what I was saying earlier though. Because they're spirits, it's not like they're tangible in the real world. But it could still have in a curated way of whatever higher being or whatever could have been like, this is your design, right? Like you have swords from out. But I do love that idea a lot. Weapons from leftovers is perfect. Moves like a square wheel, kind of like the square fill games. Splatting on his face to roll, that would be cute. He's oozing with personality, these slimes look epic, hell yeah. POTEMPO got himself in a sticky situation. He's gushing with joy. Is Photoshop trying to give you a hard time? Give me 1 second. Thank you. Yeah, like sometimes I gotta cycle through my brushes. Like I'm trying to get to the main brush. And it is like stuck and it pisses me off. Alright. Shall we do some size stuff and then call it a day? I could make it, you know what? I could make it look more angry, funny enough, just simply by doing this. It's so subtle, but that actually makes it look angry because it's like a folded crease, you know? You see? I like it. Honestly, I like it. You know what? Let me make this the same color, I think. Maybe it's too bright. Yeah, that's good. That's delectable. See, because otherwise if everything... I mean, look, I don't hate if everything is green either, but you can't tell me that the purple just adds so much. Alright? Ooh, look at that. Alright, let me get you... Size it up, brother. I got you. Back from the design. How the designs look? You tell me. I love them. Very, very cute. Awesome. Thank you. And even the bottom line, like, I'm looking and... I cooked. Like, this is so cool. Like, this isn't quite where it needs to be yet, but it will be soon. I think it still looks happy. As the eyes in motion, yeah, because you know what? I mean, you're right. It could still look happy, but I could see it like these two lines looking like eyes right here. We can see the difference when it gets angry, which it does certainly look more terrifying that way. But I like that it looks unassumingly dangerous this way, like it's alert, right? Versus this is like, I'm a character, I'm mad, you know. I like him being alert. Thank you, JC, man. I appreciate it. Watermelon slime, watermelon sugar, slime. Hear me, bomb. What if the pink was teal? Witness me. Let me see. I don't think I would hate teal. And I don't hate teal. It still lives in the family, but I like the bounce of like a more natural, fleshy color. It's kind of creepy. All I say is 5 cool. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So let me. Another thing that I want to do, which I might do. Oh, wait a second, chat. Tomorrow is Thursday. I still really want to go back and finish these first sets of characters. I'm trying to think, because I want to use, you know, the professor of my game as the size, but I also want to finalize the final design for the kid, the main kid. here's the more accurate, you know. I guess what I'll do, there is watch. Give me a second, you guys, getting something. This has a placeholder, right? All right, so as far as sizes, let's say this is 6'0", 6 foot. So this guy will be pretty small. I think something like that seems right. This guy, maybe he shouldn't be too massive, because he's just a second stage. Actually, you know what? I really like him this big. Screw it. Maybe they can like constantly change their sizes as needed, right? Because I'm thinking on screen, how would they fit? No, you know what? That's better. That's too big. It should be something like that. Now for these guys. So that's that. Pookie voiced the kid. I actually fell asleep to the Yeti vid and woke up when it ended and you turned into Icy Ote. Yeah, exactly. That one got a little out of my range, but you know, I'm glad I got some rock kind of entities, right? I was missing like a general rock kind of set, and I was thinking I needed them too. Alright, so for this one, this guy will be fairly small, and he'll like float around like this. This guy would need to be, I don't mind if he's kind of the same size, because really the brain is expanding. So he's not going to be that much bigger. But then the brain in the jar, it feels right to do something like this. Whereas these guys have a similar vibe. Oop. Honestly, actually, that size feels right. One's a brain in the jar, the other's like a massive mushroom. That might be too big, actually, for a mushroom. Hold on. Maybe he's more... It's a mushroom, so maybe he shouldn't... It could be cool. Wow. You know what? Maybe it'll be like that big, and then I need to bring my boy Cordyceps in just to gauge and see. That seems... I want him to be big. That seems right. It's like a coffin size, you know, human size type of thing. He's gonna be smaller than the Chaos guy for sure. Gotta go. Have a wonderful stream. Thank you. And I'm about to wrap it up anyway. Let's see. All right, which domains would you place the guys you made? Good question. Let's do that and we'll call it a night. So I'll do save to cloud document. I'm gonna call this... Oops, one second. Okay, so let's do... Okay. me bring in these guys here. So this will be 3-stage line. So you're gonna go, look, we can finally replace, put these guys here. Then I can replace this guy, which was a fun concept, but like it just, I felt like it didn't really belong. Now this feels so much more cohesive and it fits in line, right? Perfect sizes for slime mushrooms. Nice, nice. Should I bring mushroom pizza? I would love mushroom pizza. Only that evos to a Jin. Did I miss something? Watermelon slime. Actually fell asleep. Oh, an Oni that evolves to. Oh, I thought you were talking to Oni boy. No. No, I feel like Oni I would probably either fit with either Rakshasa would have been better fit. Which is still room to it, but I might save Oni and a lot more Japanese ones for another region. Are you going to do the size chart with the other previously done? Yeah, I could do it for the other ones too, because that's always fun to see. I think I could do that. I do want to, again, work on like human designs as well, because, well, that's the connection, right? The connective tissue to the creatures. And I suspect that I want to, you know, design more of the lore and stuff, so the, you know, the people who fill the roles that we're used to, like professors and stuff, can be made obvious, right? All right, let me take these guys and we'll put them in. So here we go, right here. See my old luck there. Oh, these guys look amazing. They're so simple. Holy crap, there's a lot of creatures coming up. Oh, I see. Sorry, just doing some housekeeping. Okay, so that's good. Yeah, I think that means it's just about time to call it, chat. Let me know. Oh, we have to talk about the domains and then we'll call it. Yes, don't forget to like the vid. Thank you, Kay. I appreciate you. Brain pizza. Down for whatever you draw. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do tomorrow. I think I could do another 2-stage line. And then like maybe draw the professor. Okay, so the way I see it like this, right? So let's do slime into gluttonous cube. This line. So to me, this one, I think I'm going to simply make them cryptic. I feel like cryptic makes a ton of sense. They don't feel occult to me. They don't feel lithic naturally, runic, no. So whereas here we have a polyp into a sea pig into jellyfish and its brain in a jar, and so we can see the through line continue to push and evolve, which is really nice to see. Yeah. I'll put these here. I always write your suggestions and stuff on the side, and then I just add it to my design documents if there's anything I can use. So, okay. Cryptic, and this certainly reads, I think I'm gonna make runic occult. Not occult. It's not the right word. Not cult. I was gonna say cultic. It's gothic. Runic gothic. I feel like they could generate like any kind of elemental attacks as needed, right? Let's picture djinns were onis that were cursed into an object in my mind. The world of POTEMPO's filling out. Hell yeah. Really is. Single joke mon. That's true. Although I really only have, I think Dust Bonnie is really the only thing that I'm going to do as a single stage, just kind of like as its own joke. New domain majestic. Is there a reason why many first stage shards have a cylindrical head? Because so in the name POTEMPO you have potential, tempo, and then totem. And the idea is I treat each evolution moves in sync, like in tempo with the trainer, but that the first head is the first rung, or rather the first form is the first rung of the totem pole, and that, you know, more so than an evolution is a beautiful combination of both, where the evolution is a sum of all of its parts, is my mentality. So totem poles stack on top of each other, so I like the idea that the first forms all have a totem, like they're the bottom of the totem rung, right? Or bottom rung of the ladder, etc., whatever. And so having that spherical, blocky kind of head shape acts as a mask to protect, not protect per se, but like it adds not only a sense of mystery to the viewer, like what's hiding underneath there, but I would say from a lore perspective, it's like a means and ways of like these spirits, right, turned physical in our world, is like it's their protection being in the strange world, and that they break out of their mask with you, the trainer, bringing out their potential that was living inside of them. So they have totem-based heads at the start. Exactly. So that's the plan for all of them, because it is a very beautiful thematic way to tie all the first starters, right, the babies of the world, and then also give it a unique look that, which is so important, I've talked about this all the time, that other monster tamers don't have, right? Granted, art style is a huge thing, right? I think my art style, when I finish up all these designs, will shine through, and it won't look like Pokemon, it won't look like Digimon. But yeah, you look at many content creators, and you know, one of my homies, Jack from Subjectively, he's creating Enigmorphs, and Jack is such a beautiful, descriptive art style. His designs, not only because of his art style, he has a very unique direction. There's a beautiful complexity to his designs. That does a lot of heavy lifting too. My style is naturally very cartoony and simple, all about shapes. And, you know, I could see some people thinking and looking at some of these creatures and be like, oh, those are Pokemon. But by the time I finish all of this, depending on how I choose to display attributes and render styles and shading and this and that, ideally people see it as its own thing, right? And not Pokemon. It's like, oh, that's Bonnie's work. So that's what everything is. So are the totems that what binds them in this world? I would say so. It might be their masks that kind of, yeah, maybe hold their like unbounding spirit, right? Still working on the capture device. I do not like the term capture. It might be more like attunement device. And it's kind of like you're, you know, able to connect to them and keep them in their homes, you know, or home away from homes. That was beautiful. Thank you, Sketch. Does that mean some POTEMPO can be trapped in totem heads that specifically? No, but I would like to think lore-wise, humans might have been able to craft a device, maybe with the help of a POTEMPO god. But like, it's kind of built into their design where, oh, okay, this totem device that stands in my hand, we can make the connection why, you know, it just helps kind of tether the creature and the creature device really well, in my opinion, you know. But yeah, man, I feel really good about this set. I love that. And again, I was gonna say the word failed, and I should not say that, but I love that I was able to really take these last 2 weeks designing, because this is one of the earlier ones I designed, and I created and concocted something so crazy and fun, but it wasn't what I needed for the world. And only after designing more, I'm realizing, oh, okay, here we go, getting closer to what I needed, right? And that's just something that will naturally continue to happen, right? I'm more than certain down the line. Oh my god, could you imagine? Like, I think these designs will be even more insane and cool looking, you know? Let me play with some colors. I'm just super excited to see what the future holds. I'm putting my all into this. I mean, I always put my all into everything I do, right? Yeah, there we go. Those are the colors I wanted. And yeah, just it'll be really cool to just, you know, share this journey with you guys, and little by little I'll figure out what doesn't work by trial and error, and I'm sure a lot of things, you know, will stay, and I'm sure a lot of things will change, and it's gonna be a very fun trip. So thank you for joining me. But yes, I'm going to start calling it. I think this was a very successful stream. It was simple, yet I got 5 designs done, which is pretty huge, all things considering, right, chat? And tomorrow, there are a few fun concepts that I've been sitting on that I would really love to work. But it might need to be a bird design, because I haven't quite done birds yet. So it might be Garuda tomorrow. Otherwise, should I reveal? I've made 3. Okay, so I can delete that one. I'll tease this and we'll call it a night. Honestly, with the designs I see in front of me, I think it's distinctive from Pokemon style. Hell yeah, it's great to hear. Fascinating luck, the totem shell the spirits used. Yes. Not that they used to get here. I still have to figure that out. But it's just kind of their mask as they get to this world, and you become their friend and help them break. But I'm going to close stream. Thank you for hanging out. Make sure you hit a like. I'll leave this as a teaser, as a potential future concept. Who knows what that is? Actually, this source is not correct. It says D&D, but, you know, the thumbnail will be corrected. But that's all you need to know for now. I will see you guys on the next one.